Um, well, historically, we haven't been one to take care of our health. Men in general, historically,
Mm,
do not take as much care of their health. Men are taught to, rub some dirt on it and keep it moving. Don't complain. Don't whine. And especially black men, we develop this mentality that we're invincible. You
yeah.
know, um, just like speaking about Kevin Samuels. Um, that's almost a personal story to me because he actually reached out to me personally a couple of times about his health,
Mm,
and we were scheduled to talk and meet. He said he needed help getting his health together. 2021, 2022, he wanted to get it together, and you know, and he had followed me long before he became, you know, I guess before he blew up and went viral.
mhm,
And every time we set an appointment to talk and discuss his health, something else came up. And we've been taught to chase money. We've been taught to
mhm,
to chase everything, to put everything first, and our health last. You know, and that's something that's pervasive in our society. Period. Especially with men, and even more so with black men.
mhm,
Okay, very few black men actually see a doctor. Okay, why? Because we think we're tough.
mm,
We're told to be tough.
yeah,
We're told you suck it up. Okay, and the truth is, a lot of times, honestly, most people don't want to hear you complain.
mm,
Okay, because if you're not out there paying your bills, if you're not out there hustling, no one's going to give you anything as a man, especially as a black
yeah,
man. And so, a lot of times, it's ingrained in us to neglect our health. But it comes at a serious price. People might be chuckling about Kevin Samuels. I find that very distasteful.
yeah,
But let's take a step back. Okay, that 50 to 55 range. How many of our good brothers have we seen die in that range? John Singleton,
yeah,
Bernie Mac. I know I had at least five personal friends who have died between that 50 to 55 range. Why? Because we neglect our bodies over a certain period of time.
mhm,
And chronic neglect of your body plus decline in certain natural hormones, stress, poor eating, alcohol, tobacco, poor sleep. Over a decade or so, it breaks the human body down.
yeah,
Sadly, if you even look at Brother Samuels, every night he was on, you saw him drinking that Red Bull,
yeah,
right? That's like constantly just supercharging your heart. You're not sleeping enough. You're steadily giving yourself stimulants to stay up, to work
mhm,
more, to make more.
mhm,
And when your body says it's done, I always make the statement. I said, if you don't take the time to take care of your health, when that health bill is due, a lot of times you ain't carrying that much cash to pay it.
yeah.
You
I,
know?
I was just thinking, I was
And as
thinking,
opposed to people laughing,
mhm. Go ahead, no, go ahead.
as opposed to people laughing, I think they should take. Yeah, I was saying, as opposed to people laughing, I think they should take that as a learning lesson. As a teachable moment.
Mm,
Okay, because you can be flying high, you can have all the money, you can have all the popularity, but if you don't take care of the most important thing to you, which is your health,
mhm,
right? All of it can be gone,
yep, yep.
including you.
Yep, I agree. I was thinking because I was listening to some of the people that was close to him as well. They say he's a go getter. He just work and work and work. And I always tell people, I said his glass. People think that's another drink. I said no, that's. I've been watching him for a minute. He drinks Red Bull almost constantly at almost all his shows, and that causes heart
Yeah.
problems, seizures, nerve damage. So I think that it just took a toll on his body. And a man that was a cancer survivor, and now he's a man in his 50s, and he just go and then his body just gave out. Like we grew up in this generation, like my generation, your generation. We always had that saying: to become a millionaire, become successful, you don't sleep. They, rich people do not sleep. Like what did that narrative come from? Like why did they tell us that we just forget our health, worry about get the money?
Um, because let's be real. By and large, it is true. Um, in order to attain a certain level of wealth, you have to sacrifice. I know I had to sacrifice to get a certain level.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But one of the things I also learned, and I was fortunate enough to learn, I was fortunate enough, unfortunately, to see my mother and my father die.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And in seeing that, I crafted my path to the top of the ladder in a different way. I put my health first because I understood, how I looked at it is this. I looked at people because when a lot of people don't know this, but I was actually a stockbroker. I
Oh,
worked for
wow.
Morgan Stanley for quite a while.
Oh,
And I
wow.
remember in the early 90s being in the office, and the top broker in the office, I won't call his name, he was an older white guy. And he was grossing at that time, he was probably grossing about 2 million.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And he was walking in the office and everybody was admiring him, talking about how much money he made and all that kind of stuff like that. But he was coming in the office and, at 60, and he had his oxygen tank with him.
Mm.
And I'm looking at him like, that's not the move.
Yeah.
Because if I had the level of money that he has at that age, I would want to have the capacity to be able to enjoy that money. And there's no way I can possibly enjoy that money to the fullest if I'm walking around with an oxygen tank.
Mm.
So I'm willing to assume that if I got three-quarters of that amount of money, but still had maximum health, I would be in a better position than he is.
Yeah.
So what I must do is I must protect my health. Okay. And even if it takes me a little bit longer to get the money, but I have my health, I'll be able to enjoy it more.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so what we learned, and what I have learned, and I've seen as proof with myself, being in my 50s, I still have the same energy. I still have the same vitality that I have that most guys would be enjoying in their late 20s. All right.
Mm.
Body wise, nothing has changed in the last in the last 25 years.
Yeah.
Okay. Some things even better.
Yeah.
All right. And um, and that's only because of consistent work
Mm-hmm.
and being mindful and respecting my body, understanding what I put into my body, understanding what it is that I want to get out of my body. All right. And even going back to somebody like this story with Kevin Samuels, drinking Red Bull all the time, caffeine. A lot of people don't even understand that
Mm-hmm.
caffeine robs your body of calcium. That's the
Mm.
most dominant mineral in your body. Caffeine also stops your body from uploading magnesium. Magnesium is your body's master mineral. In the absence of caffeine and magnesium, you're going to have muscle spasms. You're going to have heart rhythm problems. You're going to have many other issues that are going to arise just by those minerals being deficient over an extended period of time. You're going to have erectile dysfunction. You're going to have breathing issues. You're going to have sleep issues. You're going to age faster. Okay. If you're a female, guess what? You're going to have hormonal issues like, menopause and these things like that. And
Mm.
so the level of neglect that I see people engage in, and even when we look at what's promoted,
Mm-hmm.
when we look at TV, what do we see all the time promoted? Caffeine
Okay.
drinks,
Yep.
processed food, sugary stuff. All these things are things that actually deplete your body of necessary nutrients
Mm.
that you need to survive.
Yeah.
All right. And when I tell people, I was just having this conversation last night, you are being programmed to be